Hi there and welcome. This is Coach Carl with Losing Weight Outside the Box, and we are going to jump right into the 5 honest and truthful reasons you may never lose weight and improve your health and fitness. What I want you to do right now is the 5 honest and truthful reasons are actually 5 rules that you and I are going to be following together going forward so that we can really make the changes that you want. So these are 5 concrete rules that we're going to be applying to your health and fitness that are going to help you make the changes that you haven't been able to make as of yet. Telling the truth and making someone cry is better than telling a lie and making someone smile. I'm sure you'd agree with that. So rule number 1 is stop lying to yourself. What do I mean by that? Well, maybe you remember Laura. Laura is one of my clients that's just had amazing success, and she is now what I consider to be a family member. We've gotten extremely close. If you remember Laura, I asked her, Laura, when it comes to your goals of losing weight and improving your health and fitness, how have you been lying to yourself? Now, Laura looked at me and she said, Carl, what the heck are you talking about? I don't lie to myself when it comes to that stuff. I know exactly where I am, which is why I'm seeing you, so I can make some changes. I said, okay, Laura, let me put it to you this way. Let's go over some of the reasons you don't exercise as often as you know you should or can't seem to stick with your diet. She said, okay, let's do that. Now, in terms of not exercising enough, this is what Laura gave me in terms of her reasons. She said, I don't have time. I'm so busy with work. The kids have so many activities. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to working out, and it doesn't work anyways. Now, when it came to not sticking with her diet, this is what Laura had for me. She said it's just this once in terms of the cravings that she would give into on a just this once, aka almost everyday basis. Said eating healthy is so hard. Prepping healthy food just takes too much time. It takes way too long to see results that I want. She said diets don't work for me. And I have my period. That one I found curious. And as a man, we're not allowed to comment on that, so I'm not going to. Moving on. Laura and I are extremely close now, and we were very close in the beginning as well, just like you and I are going to be very soon. And I asked her if I could give her what are my interpretations of what she just told me. And I forewarned her, telling her, listen, I'm going to be a little blunt here, and I don't sugarcoat things because I want you to get results. So sugarcoating is not going to help. She said, okay, sure, let's go to it. I explained to Laura that her reasons, as some people might call them excuses, aren't even excuses. They're actually lies. And behind each one of those lies is the actual truth. So I'm going to go over a few of her lies so that we can get to what the truth actually is. When Laura said, I don't have time, I told her, your health just isn't a priority for you. When she told me, I'm so busy with work, I told her work's more important than your health. She said, the kids have so many activities. I told her, you're not making time for yourself important. She'd tell me it's just this once with regards to giving into her cravings. I told her, you know it's not just this once and it's not going to be the last. She'd tell me eating healthy is so hard. I'd tell her, you're just justifying your poor eating habits to avoid taking responsibility. She'd tell me prepping healthy food just takes too much time. I tell her eating healthy just isn't important enough to you to devote time to food prep. Laura would tell me it takes too long to see results. I tell her you've fallen into the instant gratification belief system, which companies pay millions of dollars in marketing to get you to believe that you can have the body you want in 30 days, which is BS. She'd say diets don't work for me. I tell her you haven't found the right plan for you. And another truth behind that one is you probably just haven't given whatever plan you're on enough time. Then she'd tell me I have my period, in which case I'd tell her, you have your period. Conversation over. I'm not stupid. That's where it ends. Obviously, after having somebody point out what you thought were reasons and not only turning them into excuses, but turning them to lies and maybe pointing out some truth that you may not have been aware of, you're going to take it personally. And that's exactly what Laura did. And she kind of lashed out at me a little bit, and she's totally entitled. And she came back at me with something along the lines of, why are you being so cold and negative about all this, Carl? And I totally understood where she was coming from. So I had to explain something to her. I had to say, you know what, Laura, I'm not being cold about this. You're just confusing my observations for my judgments. And I want to pause there for a second, because when you mention that you don't have time, all that means is that your health isn't a priority right now. You have other priorities. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, because there isn't. However, if you say that you want to lose weight and you want to improve your health and fitness, you can't go ahead and say that you don't have time, because the fact of the matter is you're just taking that time and you're dedicating it to other things, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. However, you can't hide behind the fact that you don't have time. You just need to face the reality and the truth that health is not a priority for you right now. So if you want to make health a priority, you're going to need to look that lie dead in the eyes, come up with your own truth, and make some changes. And then I continue on telling her, bottom line is that whatever you're telling yourself, it's just filled with lies. But underneath those lies, we will find the truth. And that's exactly where you and I are going to go right now. So do any of Laura's lies resonate with you or sound familiar to you? My guess is probably more than one do. So where do we go from here? Before the truth can set you free, you need to realize which lie is holding you hostage. So here's what you and I are going to do now. Your first task. You're going to write down all the lies you've been telling yourself, just like Laura did. Then you're going to pick one and write out what the truth actually is. So what is the truth, and sometimes it's a painful truth, behind that lie that you're telling yourself? Then what you're going to do is you're going to email me your one biggest lie and what the actual truth is of that lie. One more thing before you do anything though, and this is critically important, so I want you to pay attention. I need you to understand just how courageous you are for completing this task, and I want you to know that it's my mission to continue to support you as long as you need, so that you love yourself enough to realize the best version of yourself that you can imagine. Taking a look at the reasons or excuses or lies you've been telling yourself is not an easy task, so congratulations for doing that. Finding out the truth behind it as well, not easy. But this is going to put you so far ahead of 99% of the population who walk around wondering why they can't lose weight and why they can't improve their health and fitness, and they have no idea that they've just been lying to themselves. So by taking these steps, we're eliminating that right now so that we can get you exactly where you want to go. So to recap, what's the biggest lie you've been telling yourself out of all the lies that you wrote down? And what's your new truth to replace that lie? What is the actual truth there that you're going to become aware of? If there's one thing I can teach everybody right from the get-go, it's that awareness and acceptance is always the first step in transformation. I'll repeat that. Awareness and acceptance is always the first step in transformation. Lastly, you're going to email me those answers at info@LWoTB.com, and then we're going to move on to step 2. So again, congratulations for going over rule number 1, which is stop lying to yourself. And we stop doing that today. I'll talk to you soon.